Hey guys, Scott here, and today I want to talk about why I don't make DBD tier lists. This is sort of a quick video. I was looking for ideas for other topics to talk about, and a lot of people asked me to make a tier list, and I wanted to explain why I don't do that. I made like a joking one 2 years ago in MS Paint, but it wasn't very serious or thought out or anything, because overall, I think you just can't really do it. I think you can say like Nurse is the best and Clown is the worst, and then everything else in between starts getting too muddied to actually have a non, argument, because there's just so much shit in between. So the thing is, you're supposed to have a tier list based on the maximum potential of the thing you're talking about. It's not, just a random kid picks up Ryu and now like Ryu's shit because that kid sucks. It's whenever you have somebody playing the thing at the max potential using all of the tools that it has. However, if that was the case, then Huntress would be like the second best killer in the game, because you would just have a good Huntress with iridescent head every match that would shit on everybody. But that's not the case. Huntress is obviously not the second best killer in the game. So you can't use the maximum potential. You can't use the standard scale for tier lists. So then you have to think about, okay, maybe let's go the other direction. What about no add-ons? But that's not very realistic either, because almost everybody plays with some add-ons, and even brown add-ons are very impactful. I know a lot of Demogorgons, yellow and brown add-ons are extremely impactful in the match. Same thing with like Pig and like combat traps and like the tape and stuff like that. A lot of brown add-ons are very impactful. So, everyone has access to those, so making a tier list based off of absolutely nothing, I think, is not fair either. Because even from what, tournaments I've seen in this game, even they allow add-ons to some extent. So I think that's not a fair scale. And then you can say, well, what about like average add-ons? But that's not a fair scale either, because the strength of add-ons varies drastically, even in the same rarity. You can have Huntress with a rare add-on that lets you literally just see lockers. And then you can have Oni with a rare add-on that doubles the charge speed of his ability. Like, they're so incredibly different in strength that you can't have a system that judges it based on that, because the strength of the add-ons, even in the same rarities, varies so drastically that there's no point. And then on top of that, you got more RNG with maps and stuff like that. If you have Huntress on Bloodlodge, she's one of the best killers in the game, very close to Nurse in my opinion. If you have her on Macmillan, same thing. However, if you get her on Larry, she's absolute dog shit. On the flip side, if you get Ghostface or Wraith on Blood Lodge, you're not sneaking up to anybody ever. But if you get them on Hawkins or, the game or something like that, you'll get a lot of free hits because you have no Teridius. So even the maps themselves vary so drastically that it muddies things so much that it's like, what's the point? And it's not that I don't want to make a tier list for this game. I think that'd be really fun. I just don't think you can do it. Like, I even made a tier list for the weapons in Dark Souls 3. The game was wildly imbalanced, not competitive at all, not worthy of a tier list, but I did it because it was fun and I wanted to, and because it was possible. Because there was a very clear, you can't have add-ons to make your curved sword have 15 times the length. That's called lag. That's not an add-on you can choose. You can't, the difference in the arena that you're dueling doesn't really matter. The map differences doesn't change how good a particular weapon is. So it was actually possible to do that for Dark Souls. I don't think it's possible to do for this game. Like I said, you can say Nurse is the best, you can say Clown is the worst. Even those are argued. But everything in between, it comes down to so many different things that you can never have a scale, because you can always have an argument. Always, every single time. Well, you can say, well, Hag is actually really good. Yeah, what if you get like Red Forest and the map is 8,000 miles long and you can't even teleport to some of your other traps because they're so far away? What if you get an indoor map with, Leatherface or Billy, like, where you can never actually really chainsaw anybody? Like, there's no point. I feel like I'm going into repeating myself territory, so I'm going to stop. I'm just saying there's no point in even trying to me. Yes, it's fun to do, but I don't think any tier list should be taken very seriously, because there is no scale to which they can be, used. I thought about this a lot, actually. I really gave this a bunch of thought. And I'm not just saying this because I was like, fuck, I'm not making a tier list. I tried. I really, really did try to make a uniform system. I even came up with like a math formula. Like, I assigned each killer, because there's basically, multiple tenets of what makes a killer good. It is their ability to end chases fast and their ability to pressure the map. And that sort of ties in with mobility. So I'm gonna say there's really two main tenets: their ability to end chases fast and their ability to traverse the map. Those are the two main things. And I remember I assigned each killer a number, and for each of those, and then averaged it out based on the relative chance you would get one of the indoor maps and things like that. I had this whole ridiculous formula, And then I realized it was so complicated to the point, it's just stupid. It's just not worth going that far into it to make a tier list for this game. I think it's silly. That being said, I love looking at people's tier lists. I love, seeing other people make tier lists and, having debates about it and stuff like that. But I think that is part of the reason we will never have a unified tier list, because you can't. It's impossible. They will always be very opinionated with different rulings based on whatever the creator finds to be important to be a ruling. And because of that, there will always be arguments, more so than any other game, about the tier list of this game, because, well, maybe I can't say that, but there will always be a lot of arguments about the tier list in this game because of the lack of a unifying factor on making a tier list to begin with. So I definitely applaud people who try it. I think they're really cool to look at. I love agreeing or disagreeing with them, but I'm just explaining why I personally am not bothering with it, because I don't see a point. But that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.